back. So this has actually been a very big week for me. So I got my driver's license on Monday, which is a big celebration. And then I registered for voting and I registered for the varsity. So I am all set now. So a big week. But this is definitely one of my highlights. Definitely. So hello. Today I thought I would give you my testimony because one, a testimony is like such a beautiful thing because it's like a testimony of God's love and faithfulness through a person's life, and it's like you see what they were before and how God has worked with them to make them what they are today. So I really think a testimony is just a beautiful expression of God's faithfulness. So I thought I'd give you my testimony so that you can get to know me a little bit more as well, and so that when I share stuff you know where I'm coming from and you know that I'm sharing out of experience. So yeah, we have builders, so please excuse the noise. But I've been a Christian all my life. So I officially gave my life to God when I was 3 years old, and I was baptized when I was 7. So that was a very cool experience for me. And then throughout my childhood, I so enjoyed my Christianity. I found it fun, and it was such a safe place for me as well. Just Jesus was like such a friend, I think, because he had always been there for me, so I really experienced him as my friend. And I remember as a little girl, I'd say, oh yeah, Jesus is the best boyfriend ever. So yeah, he was definitely a big part of my life, and I did worship dancing to him, and I wrote songs with him, so that was very cool. And then I remember starting a Jesus club with some of my friends, so that was a very cool time. But throughout my childhood, I always looked to the teens, and I was just like, oh my goodness, teenager, you are just like so old, you are so big stuff, you are just like, you are there. So yeah, I always looked forward to becoming a teenager. And my perception of a teenager was someone who is rude and rebellious and grumpy most of the time. So I thought that becoming a teenager would then give me a license to be those things. So when I hit 12, then I thought, okay, I'm basically a teenager now, so a teenager is obviously rude and grumpy and rebellious and doesn't like God and doesn't like family, so that's going to be me now. So I made an effort to become this person, become this teenager, and I kind of cut God out a little bit. I found him restrictive, and I didn't see it as a relationship anymore. It became a whole bunch of restrictions, and like he was trying to stop me from having fun. So that was my mindset about God. And my mindset to family was that they also were enforcing rules and they made me look silly, and yeah, as opposed to the safety net that they were meant to be, the safety net that your parents are and the friends that your siblings can be. So my mindset completely changed, and I was very wrong in that. But I was becoming a teenager, and so that is what a teenager does, obviously. As I began to cut God out of my life and cut family out of my life, a whole lot of things changed in my life. So my music interests changed, my outfit choices changed, my friends changed, and just my overall feel on life, it changed completely, and not for the better. I think part of it I changed on purpose to become more of a teenager, but it definitely, like looking back, I look at that person and who I am today and even who I was before that, and it's just like it's completely opposite to me. It's like I went completely opposite who I am, and so that wasn't me, so I kind of went overboard with changing into this teenager. So one thing that I definitely noticed with myself is that I became a lot more fearful, like a lot more fearful. I used to go to bed terrified because I knew, it's like my spirit was still alive. I knew that where I wasn't in a good place, and I knew that I wasn't ready to die. I wasn't ready to face God, because I knew that my life was out of line. But I kind of thought, let me have fun while I can, and then I'll go back to it later and I'll fix this. But every night I would be so scared because my heart knew I wasn't in the right place, and even like traveling on long journeys, that was scary for me as well, because like it's a chance, you know, like I knew I wasn't in the right place. So fear was a big part of my life as I cut God out, which kind of makes sense, because like where there isn't love, there's going to be fear, and God is love. So I cut him out of my life, I cut family out of my life, and I just had me. It's like everything was then dependent on me, because I wasn't including God in my life. I didn't have his safety net. I didn't have the safety net of my family. So it was just me alone in this off space, and so fear was a big part of that. Another thing that I really noticed during that time is just God's faithfulness and provision for me. It's like he wasn't ready to let my heart go. Like I was ready to be like, whatever. But he wasn't ready. He wasn't finished with my heart. He was going after my heart, and he still pursued that, even as I was like, don't want you, I don't want you. But he still went after my heart. He still pursued my heart. And so my mom and my family and my friends were praying for me just to come back to that good place I had been in. And they prayed a lot for me, cried out to God for me. And my mom also did like devotions with me, even though I was like, this is so lame. I must have been like so horrible to her. But she would daily do devotions with me and just keep on putting into my life, keep on praying into my life, keep on reading these things to me and just giving me truth, even though I wasn't accepting it. And eventually she bought this one book for me, and in the book you work through a journal. So we started this book, and it said that one of the first chapters you had to start a journal. And I thought, okay, you know what, why not? I enjoy writing, so yeah, let's just give it a try. The first step in the journaling process was to write down, like just confess everything. So like everything that's on your heart, everything that you've been through, you just wrote it down and you're like, God, I'm sorry for this. I was like, oh, whatever, let me just do it. So I ended up sitting down and I wrote out everything. It had been about a year since I had started this whole like cool teenager thing. And so I started writing it out, and I just confessed everything. I was like, okay, why not? And I like now I look back and I can see that is so God, because it was so against my whole attitude then. It was so like, why would I confess anything then? But God just like convicted me, and I was like, okay, let me just confess it. I wasn't necessarily sorry, but at that stage, but I wrote it out anyway. So I wrote out everything. And honestly, that journal entry, I think I did it over 2 days, and by the end of that period, I was like completely different. I look back now and I'm like, Lord, you did that in 3 days? Like, that's incredible. So it's like that was just the opportunity God needed. As my pen hit the paper, he was like, yes. It's like I just opened that door a little bit, and he's like, I'm taking this opportunity. And he just rushed into my heart and honestly transformed me. It's like in the space of a week, I was back to a relationship better than I had before this period. It was so much more intimate. It's like my heart was connected to his in a new way. It was incredible. And so around about that time, I asked God and I said, Lord, please can you help to make me whole? I don't want anything in my heart that hinders me from more of you. I don't want chips and bruises and wounds and that sort of thing from my past, but I want to have a free heart that's free from any hindrances from more of you and from relating to you deeper. And so since then, we've been on a journey of sifting out this thing and sifting out that thing, like hurts from my childhood and stuff I went through during that period, and we've sifted it out, and it's been the most beautiful journey, because it's like it'll be a pain in my heart, and God will just like gently bring it to the surface, and he's like, okay, let's deal with this today, let's deal with this week. And then he just gives me that truth, and all of a sudden it's like my mind just shifts. It's like I don't need this whole long explanation. He just simply gives me that truth straight to that place in my heart, and then we can work out fixing that. So it's been the most beautiful journey of just discovering more of him, discovering new depths of him, and just falling more in love with him. It's like as he's fixed these places, it's like he's smoothed them over and knitted them together with himself. It's like my heart is knit together with God. The broken pieces of my heart are now sewn together with love himself. It fills my heart even now just talking about it, because like the way he rushed in as soon as my pen hit that paper, it's like he just needed the slightest opportunity, and he was right there, his arms open, ready to accept me again. He didn't mind that I had shunned him for nearly a year. He didn't mind about that. He just wanted me back. And as soon as I opened that door a little bit, he rushed in there. And since then, honestly, our relationship has never been better. It's like we are so intimately relating to each other. It's like every part of my life he's there and he's present. He's like the present dad, and just like injecting truth into every situation. And as we go through more stuff together and fix more places in my heart, it's like I get to know him more, and so he's part of my life more, because I know this side of him and I know that side of him, and he's proved himself in this area and proved himself in that area. And honestly, I could never turn back on that now. He has just revolutionized my life, and I can honestly say that my life has never been better. And I can tell it's just gonna get better, because God doesn't stop. He goes after our hearts, goes after them, after them, after them. He doesn't stop with this much. He'll go after the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and sift out what hinders us from more of him, because he is so hungry for more of our hearts as well. I learned so much from this period of just God teaching me and revealing truth to me. And so I think that's kind of what this blog is about. It's about me just sharing some of what he's done. It's almost like this is a testimony of what he's done in my life. And I think there is so much that we can learn from each other's testimonies, because God will reveal himself in different ways to each of us. And so I hope that in me revealing some of what he showed me, that there will be some truths that will be relevant in your lives as well. And I just wanted to give my testimony today, just so that you know that I'm not just this pretty Christian that, oh, life with Jesus is just so amazing, I would never do it any other way, because I have done it another way. I've done it without him. I've done it where I completely rejected him and anything he gave me. I rejected any of the truth that he gave me. And then I've done it where I've accepted him, and him and I are just like best buddies. And I can honestly say that being buddies with Jesus is way, way better than life without him. Life without him is so uncertain. There's so much fear. There's so much, and like in it, you think you're living. It's like, yes, this is fun. Like those parties are cool. Those kids are cool. It feels fun. It's like that music's awesome to listen to. This is awesome to do. And it feels like you're having fun. But until you go to the other side, where you actually are listening to what Jesus has said, you don't know true fun. Like true fun is life with Jesus. True excitement is life with Jesus. Like I thought that life with Jesus cuts out all thrill and excitement. That's honestly what I thought. I thought it was all restrictions and there's no fun. But having gone without Jesus and gone with Jesus, my life now is so much more exciting. It's so much more fulfilling. And it's an excitement that lasts. It's like an excitement that lives like right here inside of me all the time. It's not like it comes when I'm with this person, or it comes when I'm at that party, or it comes when I listen to this music. It's just there. It's like a constant good time. It's like you're always having a good time with Jesus. And like, yeah, like it's hard, but you're with him still. And if he's real to you, he's still there. So my encouragement to you this week is just invite God in. Give him the chance. Just jump off the cliff and let him in. Like start journaling, or pray into that area, or ask him what he thinks about something. Just jump off the cliff and say, okay, I'm going to let you in here, or I'm going to let you into my life for the first time. And I promise you, your heart will never be more full. I can honestly say that my heart has never been this full, and I know it's gonna get more full, because I always think my heart has reached its capacity, and then God fills it again and again and again and reveals new areas of himself. So the areas that are full of fear or insecurity, or they're just not gelling, they don't feel right, invite him in, give him the chance. I mean, what have you got to lose? And I promise you, there is nothing like life with Jesus. He's always out for your best interest. I love you guys, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe, because I'm really excited about what's up ahead. But yeah, I hope you have a good week, and see you next week. Bye. 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 Bye, guys.